business perspective is. Preeti, just let me talk about Kumbh first. The overall view is that perhaps not too much tourism in terms of flight bookings, in terms of hotels. Maybe this is more train travel, maybe more, temporary kind of structures. Is that really the fact? What are you seeing on ground?
Okay, let's understand Mahakumbh 2025 first of all. So Mahakumbh 2025 is coming once in 144 years.
Yeah.
The whole planetary cosmos concoction of the Jupiter, Sun, and Moon is in this period. So it's a belief that whoever does the holy snan at the Triveni Sangam is going to be completely blessed and maybe moksha. So for your information, is just not the IRCTC or the train. We have large bookings in the aviation. We have large tourists coming from international. EaseMyTrip has done the luxury tents. We are housing people to very large numbers, not only from India, but also from international and all age groups. So you might be wondering, it's only a 50+ thing. No, the youth are very, very anxious to do the holy snan in the Triveni Sangam, and we're booking all kinds of age groups in large groups to make sure that they do the holy snan at those snan dates.
So what does it mean? And thank you, Preeti ji, for putting that into perspective, that this is not the regular Kumbh. This is a once in 50 years event. It has a wide interest, and a lot of people are coming from all age groups. I'm just trying to understand the economic aspect of it. What are the kind of upticks in bookings, for example, you have seen on your platform?
Right. So we were actually pre-arranged. We created this whole luxury tent, the Akhada, and we tied up with multiple other Akhadas who are doing Havan and special Havan. And we have large numbers coming from South India. We have numbers coming in from the North, from USA, from UK. So if you look at the number perspective, almost 40% of our booking are the youth in the age group of the 30, 35. And then we have about 20% of our booking who are the senior age, who are staying there for a prolonged time, like 40, 45 days doing prayer only. And about 30% of our people who have booked with us are there for some special snan date and special puja dates. We're also housing people for special yagna and special akhadas with the Ayurveda teaching and to meet the gurus and the sadhus. So it's a very varied method of the holy connect, where each one is coming for their own purpose, each one is coming for their own moksha purpose. So it's really mixed, and the numbers are large.
Okay. Now, Prashant, I was reading some of the things that that probably you also believe could happen, in that it's not just about the influx of devotees and tourists in Prayagraj, but adjacencies as well, which will have a tremendous benefit. So in some sense, Prashant, I would love to understand from you, what's the benefit of for the ecosystem in terms of, let's say, percentage of annual revenues, if you will, or some context to what this could mean? Because it's one thing to say, oh, hotels will benefit. Yes, obviously. But two is, what kind of benefit comes in through an event like this?
See, for this particular Kumbh, while it is a 45-day affair, a lot of preparation goes on, maybe say for a month or two before the event starts. And so the demand not only kicks in from January or from the day first of Kumbh, it may be a month or two back as well, from where we can see the actual influx of demand coming in for the hoteliers. Now, this is point number one. Point number two, while this is a very location-specific demand for pan-India hoteliers like IHCL or EIH or anyone, it may be demand for one particular hotel. But for one of the subsidiaries of IHCL, which is your Banaras Hotels, another listed company, for them, Taj Ganges is they are a 2 or 3 property hotel only, out of which 2 are located in one premises of Varanasi. So, just to pinpoint on a very stock specific, which can have a major benefit, it could be Banaras Hotels because it is a very location specific company. And for them, we have seen Q3 also driving rates for that particular property higher by around 20% year on year on the OTAs. And this was for the month of October and December, where we have not even seen the event kicking in. So in Q4 also, at least for the month of Jan and Feb, we can see a decent ARR growth for that particular hotel or the company as such as well. So that will drive the demand for Banaras hotels. And in terms of financial impact, it will be more in Q3 and Q4, where because of very good ARR growth, we can see most of it trickling down to EBITDA as well, and then further down to profit. So H2 for that particular company may see a very good growth.
You are talking about Benares Hotels, right?
Yes.
Okay, and Banaras Hotels at 8,300. Of course, remember viewers, it's an illiquid stock, up about 1%. I mean, relatively illiquid stock. So keep that in mind as well. Okay, aside of hotels, Prashant, very quickly, anything else that sees a material benefit? I mean, which might be having some listed space repercussions? Very quickly.
So stock specific, I would restrict myself to hotels only because that's the sector which I track. But I think air travel, rail travel, and as your colleague mentioned that before the start of this conversation, food delivery companies can also benefit from it.
You know, Preeti ji, we spoke about the Mahakumbh and what EaseMyTrip is doing for Mahakumbh specifically, but I just want to get your view on how big a factor for travel overall have become the MICE segment or events overall. I mean, we've seen that with concerts. We're already going to be seeing a rush with Coldplay. The whole of 2025 is packed and lined up. Are you seeing that as a big segment growing forward, and what is the kind of potential you're tracking?
So as we're looking at Mahakumbh in this particular discussion, I would want to come back to spiritual tourism. For giving emphasis on spiritual tourism, EaseMyTrip has launched a special vertical, Easy Darshan. So Easy Darshan has come in being almost a few months before the launch of Mahakumbh. So we prepared ourselves, pre-arranged ourselves with the luxury tents, with the food arrangement and all of that. And yes, coming to MICE, as per your question, MICE and the other segment is also attracting spiritual tourism because we have a lot of youth going to the spiritual sites, like the Ujjain Mahakal, like if you look at down south, you have Kumbakonam, you have the Rameshwaram. And for your information, we're doing the large groups like the MICE for these sector as well. And Mahakumbh also is attracting large groups, so you could also consider that as MICE. So Easy Darshan of EaseMyTrip is the one who's done the special arrangement to ensure the complete comfort and the reason of fulfillment of the tourist visit.